How's it going, everybody? I am Jason of Jason's Realm here, and today I am here bringing you guys our official NFL Wildcard Round Power Rankings. Now, if you guys are in the Discord server, you kind of already know what to expect. If you're not, what are you doing? Join it. Link down below. We go to hang out. You get to help us make predictions for our predictions video. You get to do all that fun stuff, and you get to hang out with us 24/7, 365. And I guess without further ado, let's just go ahead and dive right into this. Now, before we do, I do apologize about my voice being a little weak. Still sore from the Steeler game, but I'm trying to bring you the energy I always got. But at number 14, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They weren't ranked last week, so we can't really say up or down. They just weren't ranked, but they have been kind of limping into the postseason. They beat Carolina barely a couple weeks ago. Then they lost to Atlanta in embarrassing fashion this last week. Tom Brady now going to have to go up against a Dallas team that can be hot or cold, but still not too high on them going forward. We suspect first-round exits here. Well, at number 13, we have the New York Football Giants, down 3 spots from last week. Yes, they did put up a fight against the Eagles. Yes, we do give them credit. But at the same time, that was one good week. They haven't really been looking great recently. Recently, they've been all right, but you also have to consider the fact this team is going to have to go up against the Minnesota Vikings. Now, that's not a death sentence. It is a winnable game. But the Giants we don't know if they have the firepower. We don't know if they have the strength, and we haven't really been convinced on this team compared to other teams on this list. Well, at number 12, we have the Seattle Seahawks. Once again, weren't ranked last week. Now, I see this could be a little controversial putting the Seahawks ahead of the Giants, but the Seahawks do have 2 great weapons in Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. You got 2 opposite end threats, and all Geno has to do is just throw it to them, and you'll be fine. Seahawks are going to have a tough matchup, though, against the 49ers. We have them at 12, but they're probably going to be first-round exits because that San Fran offense is just so potent. Way too potent for Seattle to handle. Almost like TCU tonight. Well, at number 11, we have the Miami Dolphins, also not ranked last week. They ended up getting the job done, but it was ugly. It was ugly last week. Winning 11-6 against the Jets starting Joe Flacco. I get it, you were starting Skylar Thompson, but at the same time, if Tua is not there, you're dead. You're going to be first-round exits if Tua doesn't play. I mean, seriously, you're going up against the Buffalo Bills, who are playing with heavy hearts for Damar Hamlin, and you're going to get your butt whooped into last week if you don't have Tua. That's just the facts. Well, at number 10, we have the Baltimore Ravens. They are up, weren't ranked last week. They are in the top 10 now, playing some decent football. We're hoping that Lamar Jackson gets back. That's why we're a little high on him. If Lamar's not there, they are going to be first-round exits. That's just the fact of the matter. We know they played last week, and it's tough to lose to the same opponent 2 weeks in a row. But at the same time, without Lamar Jackson, that offense struggles. Big time struggles. And that just leads to a recipe for disaster for the Ravens if they don't have Lamar. Which could put them lower down, but we're high that Lamar will get back. Well, at number 9, we have the Dallas Cowboys. They have been staying put at number 9 for the past 3 weeks. Looking pretty good. Able to get themselves somewhat alright, but, last week kind of embarrassing. They've been playing well up until last week, though. We could have very easily dropped the Cowboys significantly, but we didn't, as we do see that teams do have off weeks, and you're going up against Brady and the Bucks. That should be an easy win for you. Not even a doubt on my mind, but Dallas, playing all right. You have a decent core, but can you be consistent and win big next week? Well, at number 8, we have the Los Angeles Chargers falling down 2 spots from last week, as they did lose to the Denver Broncos this week, 31-28. But the Chargers, it's going to be a really good game this week, I'll tell you that. It's not going to be a cakewalk. It's going to be a tight, hard-fought game down to the wire. And the Chargers, they have a high, potent offense. The question is, will that offense show up, and will the defense hold? If those two happen, Chargers cruise to victory. If not, they struggle, and that's what we saw against Denver. The defense buckled. The offense just kept doing what they had to do, but it just was not enough when the defense buckled. Well, at number 7, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars staying put once again with a big win over the Titans to clinch the AFC South, and they have a chance to make a run. If you ask me, I'm high on this team right now. They are getting hot at the right time, playing good football down the stretch, and I think that this team, it's starting to almost give us reminiscence of the 2017 Jags. Not the defense, but the offense is able to get the job done. The defense is able to suffocate when need be, and the offense is doing what it needs to do. And if they can get past the Chargers, they have a chance to make a serious run if everything falls right. But the Jags looking pretty solid, and we'll see how they do this week. At number 6, we have the Minnesota Vikings. By far our biggest climbers on this list. Weren't even ranked last week, up to number 6 with their win. And honestly, they're looking pretty solid with that win. The question is, which Vikings team will show up? The Vikings have basically two versions of themselves. They have one that beats down relentlessly on your opponents, and then you have one that flops 30-0 against the Colts. Which team's going to show up? That is the biggest gripe I have with this team. And if they have another inconsistent game, I mean, I can't put them anywhere near the top 4 next week if they happen to win. Just because I do have that problem with consistency out of them. They'll beat down on an opponent one week, and then they'll barely escape against the Colts or the Texans. So, which Vikings team shows up really will depend on how this team can fare. At number 5, we have the Philadelphia Eagles staying put once again despite their win over the Giants and clinching the number 1 seed. The Eagles just have, I mean, they were good really early, but they have really been struggling as of late. Down this stretch, they lost, I think, 2 of their last 3, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe even 3 of their last 4. They are not looking good going down the stretch. I hate to say it, but they are a number 1 seed that is limping into the playoffs. You don't want to say that about a number 1 seed because anything can happen with a number 1 seed. But they are limping into the playoffs. And they are just not looking good. I mean, I think, realistically, depending on who they square up against, they could be one and done in the playoffs. Now, if they have an opponent like, let's say, I don't know, maybe the Bucks, or if they have the Cowboys, or if they have the Seahawks, then you're talking about a potential run to the conference championship. Then anything can happen and maybe a Super Bowl run. But we're just not high on them. They have not been looking good recently down this stretch. Well, at number 4, we have the Cincinnati Bengals down to 2 spots. Kind of makes sense. We put them ceremoniously at 2 last week. And I kind of hinted at this last week because 3 and 4 were kind of stuck there because we didn't want to put the Bills and Chiefs, or the Bills and Bengals, down because of the Damar Hamlin situation. So Cincinnati back down to reality, but still a good team looking solid. Number 4 seed, or number 4 team on our power rankings, looking good. They're playing good football going into the playoffs, and they get to play an opponent that they just whooped last week. I mean, that Bengals game, don't even let the score lie to you. It was not even a close game. I mean, the Bengals had that game early, and they just kept it. So everything they did, the score was closer because of that prevent defense. At number 3, we have the Buffalo Bills getting themselves a big win over the Patriots. Now, I can't tell you right now if that game speaks more about the Patriots or if it speaks more about the Bills being able to overcome adversity. I mean, it speaks miles about both of them because no one was rooting for the Patriots. I bet you some Patriots fans weren't even rooting for the Patriots because of just the whole Damar Hamlin situation. So everyone was rooting for the Bills, and the Patriots still made it close throughout the game. I mean, I remember I was sitting there at Acrisure Stadium watching the game, and we're keeping up with the Jets game and the Bills game, hoping both those teams win, and the Bills never really pulled away until the very end. So that's part of the reason why we had to pull them down to 3. Because there's 2 other teams that are just way more potent ahead of them. Well, one of those teams is our number 2 ranked San Francisco 49ers. As much as I hate to put them up there that high, it makes my blood boil seeing them this high. But you know what? I'll rest in solace in the fact that they're not going to win a Super Bowl. Brock Purdy is not going to do it. I mean, the offense is highly potent and the defense is strong. But I think that Purdy has a situation where he chokes one of these games. I mean, he's not had this big of a stage. And I think that he honestly chokes it at one point. Because they've gotten way too long of a winning streak. In order for them to win the Super Bowl, I think they're on like a 10-game win streak now? So they need to go Wildcard Division Conference. In order for them to win a Super Bowl, they need to have a 14-game win streak. In order for them to make a Super Bowl, they need a 13-game win streak. Those don't happen every time in the NFL. Those are hard to get. I don't think this Niners team will make it. I think they might lose a game that we don't expect them to lose. They could lose this week, depending on how things go. They could lose next week. We don't know. I mean, I don't think they make a Super Bowl this year. They've had too long of a run. Well, at number 1, we have the Kansas City Chiefs, up 2 spots from last week as well. Just Patrick Mahomes. That's all I got to say. Mahomes is like the guy right now, and he is the quarterback. And that offense is really high-powered. The defense is able to make stops when need be. And I mean, this team is just looking really good going into the playoffs as the number 1 seed. They have the first-round bye, and they'll have the luxury of probably squaring off against the Ravens, I would imagine. Because I think, as much as I've said about this game, I really suspect the Ravens take this. I suspect the Ravens take that game. I just got a gut feeling right now that the Ravens pull off the upset, and then they go to Kansas City and get their butts blown out of them. But yeah, this was our NFL official Wildcard Weekend Power Rankings. If you guys did like, don't forget to smash like, and don't forget to smash subscribe as well, as we are honing in on 250 already, which is unreal to think about, considering we only hit 200 a couple days ago. I also wanted to take some time here at the end of this video to leave a huge thank you to every one of you guys last night who was in the stream. I made a last-second decision saying, hey, we're going to go live for the college football playoff, and you guys did not disappoint. That was by far the best stream we've ever had. Most concurrent viewers at 211. Most likes on a stream at 55. I believe it was the most likes on a stream at 55. I could be wrong. Maybe the Grossi rate did a little better, but still. Most amount of watch time at 210 hours. And the most views, elephant in the room, over 5K. You guys are amazing for everything you did. Huge shout out to you guys, and I hope that this gets us to go far. But I guess enough mopey stuff, or enough like lovey-dovey stuff. Let's go ahead and close this video out and stop wasting your time. So you can go ahead and check out another one of our videos somewhere down around here. It should be popping up about now, give or take, and maybe it already did. But yeah, go ahead and watch that. That's what the YouTube algorithm thinks you should be watching next. And I guess we will see you guys later. Peace out and have a good one.